Well, the day is drawing to a close as the year is drawing to a close. And it could be that you're in the process of doing some reflection right at the moment, thinking about the year that's been as well as thinking about the year that's coming. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, that was a pretty good year. Or you could be thinking, that year went really, really fast and I don't think I actually achieved a whole heap. Or you could be thinking, hey, much the same as last year and the year before that, and the year before that. Whatever you're thinking, it really doesn't matter, because what I'm here to tell you is that you probably had a much better year than you actually realize. I was at a conference a few years ago, a place called Tiona, which is in the central coast of New South Wales and on the coastal road up towards Foster. And I went for a walk along the beach one morning. And I thought, I'll just walk up to the headland. I'll walk the length of the beach and then I'll walk back. That'll take me about an hour. Well, I set off and I walked and I walked and I walked, and I started to get a little bit frustrated because the more I walked, it looked like I was going nowhere. It looked like I'd actually made no progress at all. And the horizon, the headland, still looked just as far away as it did when I started after about 30 minutes walking. So I turned around and had a look behind me and suddenly realized just how far I'd actually come. I'd come a heck of a long way in that 30 minutes. And of course, what I didn't do is that I didn't have the perspective of looking behind me and seeing just how far it was. And that's often what we do when we come to this time of year. We can be a little bit hard on ourselves, we can be a little bit tough, and we can get a little bit down on ourselves too, which is not necessarily the right thing to do. It doesn't actually serve any great purpose. And what I'd like to encourage you to do today is to, in your process of reflection, because I'm sure there'll be some reflection, whether it's for 5 minutes or 5 hours, I'd like to encourage you to think about how far you've actually come. And I've got a short list here that I pulled together of reasons why the past year was actually not just a good year, but in fact a really great year. See how many of these that you can tick off for yourself. First of all, this past year, if you've opened your heart by sharing a little bit more with those people around you, by sharing your true self, then I would count that as a tick. If you took some risks, even though you're a little bit afraid, or maybe a lot afraid as well, and despite the outcome, you did what was right for you at the time, then I would count that as a tick. Maybe you fell a bit short of some goals, but if you're okay with that because of the person that you've become in the process of going after those goals, then that's a bit of a tick as well. It might be for you that you focus this year more on the things that you want than the things that you don't want. Well, that would be a tick. And if you're no longer insistent on needing to know all of the answers or control the outcome, that you don't need to force anything, but instead you enjoy the journey, then that would be a tick. If the little things don't get to you the way they used to and you don't overreact as much as you used to, instead you're constantly focusing on the big picture, then that would be a tick. If you appreciate the moments much more and you're more patient than you used to be, then that would be a tick for the year. If you're constantly focusing on your personal big whys and the reasons for doing things rather than the results you're getting, then that would be a tick as well. Not to say that results aren't important, but the reasons why are more important. If you stop comparing yourself to others, or at least you're making a conscious effort not to do such comparisons, because you're more comfortable with who you are, then that would be a tick. And then finally, if you trust, or at the very least you're trying to trust, the timing, the divine timing if you like, in all areas of your life, instead of trying to control everything, then I would see that as being a tick as well. So how many of those can you tick off? How many of those can you say yes to? And if there's more than 5, then I'd like to suggest that you've actually had a really good year, a great year, rather than just another year. In any case, my wish for you is that you get everything that you wish for in the forthcoming year: happiness, health, prosperity, family, love, all of the things that you want for yourself in the form that you want them. At the same time, be open, because you just never know how they might come. I'll see you on the other side, and have a very safe and a very enjoyable new year.